Okay, guys. So I think very interesting views. We've had three speakers. They've come and they've talked about they're not. We're not talking about partisanship. We're not saying we're not taking sides. We're not politicians. We're not. I mean, we're not supposed to take sides. What we are supposed to do is basically bring out various facets. And so, very interestingly, a couple of speakers, they talked about how the entire process takes time. And that in a way, the entire legal system, whether it is the courts or the police, they take a lot more time, and that in a way is a harassment. But one more speaker, Amitabh, just mentioned that let's continue to keep confidence in such institutions, because they are the ones who preserve the democracy. And in a democracy, obviously, some time is needed. I mean, it's not a China. We want to obviously become a China in many ways, but surely democracy, you need that flexibility, and hence any kind of flexibility accorded to anyone will take some time to analyze, to come to a decision. So we've got a lot of you have joined. Some very we were talking about Diva raising a very interesting point. She says, is there a limit to freedom of speech? Should we draw a line? Should this line be our own responsibility? If people get incited by someone's words, is it their fault or the other person who said that? And she also mentions that, because a lot of times people make this point that freedom of speech, it's a right, but any right comes with a responsibility or a duty. So whether freedom of speech should also come with a duty. Look, I think one of the things, there are various points, a lot of people say that, what should come first, whether it should be, whether freedom of speech and patriotism, how do we compare and all that. I think a lot of people have said that there should not be any limit to freedom of speech. That is what, a lot of people say. On the other hand, a lot of people also say, on the other side of the divide, they say that, if your freedom of speech is inciting people to violence, and we assume that the leaders can do that, then who is it at fault? I mean, of course, the people who have done it are at fault, but even the leaders who incite violence, anybody who incites violence, in my view, he is also at fault. And it depends on whether it's a direct incitement or it's a larger, in a more sort of ideological way of saying that, take up arms or whatever, overthrow the government. Those are clear incitements. So every case has to be analyzed, differently. But if it is in a way, putting in revolutionary thoughts in people, and some people interpret it differently and take up arms, that clearly can't be the responsibility of the person who said those words. So I don't know if I answered your your query there completely, but that's my take. Clearly, freedom of speech should not have limits. It's something that has been accorded by the Constitution to us. Thank you so much, guys. Is there any other question that you guys have? Yeah. So I think guilt by association. So Anuradha is asking, SC had earlier ruled out guilt by association, and what are my own thoughts? So I believe, I think you also made a point, whether we are confusing compassion with collaboration. If somebody shows displays compassion to let's say Dalits and or people who are less privileged, or people who've been impacted by the government's policies, is that in a way, and some of those oppressed people then either demonstrate or in a way, is that collaboration? Or in a way, if some of them take up arms, is that collaboration either? So I think again, we have to analyze it on a case-to-case basis. What has been said, what kind of pamphlets were distributed, what kind of scheming and conspiracy was hatched. So all these things have to be looked at. One thing is very clear: we should always avoid to paint these issues with a broad brush. So every time we use a broad brush approach, that's a problem. Whether we call, everybody, say we talk about urban Naxalites, or we talk about, anti-national, or we talk about, all these guys as, various terms we use, various labels we use. Of course, the human tendency is such that we love labels, and we love organization. So in our head, we want to bracket everybody under some category, under some group or the other. Unfortunately, that we should avoid. I think we should look at each case differently. We should analyze the facts of the case and then take it there. Yes, violence is an action, very black and white. Thoughts are grey, and thoughts also evolve. So yeah, very much so. So thank you so much, Anuradha. Is there any other query, guys? I'm happy to take them. I'm happy to try and answer, address it in a way, in some way. So guys, what will happen is I'll just give you guys 2 more minutes before we end this. So look, I'll just also mention that this is something that this is part of our Loudest Live Debate series. We debate issues. We debate whether it's policy, whether it is things like dissent. We've also discussed and debated laws which are unfair to certain segments of the society. We debate all that. The idea with Loudest is we believe that we believe that Loudest will become a platform that will promote the individual in you, and you and I, people who are the general janta, so to say, we've got our opinions, we've got our thoughts, but we've never had a TV studio to go to and debate these issues. So Loudest is providing that platform where you can come, discuss, debate, bring out nuances rather than get influenced by your partisanship. Politicians, let the politicians be partisan, because they obviously have their own agenda. They have their party's agenda to take care of. We don't have to take care of any such agenda. We as individuals, we should bring out the nuances. We should understand the nuances. We should discuss without shouting each other down. That's the overall objective. Loudest. We organize such live debates. We also organize, online, chats, chat shows, which are offline in nature. We've done it in 3 cities. And apart from that, we have an Android app where you can come debate. There are a lot of things you can do, on the app. It's on Play Store already. The iOS app is also on its way. Anybody from the audience, who would like to ask any questions, if you want to come and speak, that's fine. Just send me an invite, and I'll be more than happy to have you guys here, and we can talk about it. Yeah, I think what we plan to do with Loudest Live Debate, which is this debate, which is how we brand this debate, is to have such debates on various topics, once every fortnight. And we do it on Sundays because that's when it's convenient for a lot of people to join. You can join as audience, you can join as a participant. We obviously send out feelers inviting people to ping us in case they want to join. So. Yes, I think the iOS app, you're right, Anuradha. The iOS app is on its way. I think we just a week away, we should have the iOS app on the App Store. For Android users, the Android app is already there. It's an app which we've tested, and now it's, a lot of things you can do there. You can obviously, the content becomes automatically organized into channels. So we call channels like politics, sports, entertainment. Those are the various channels, and any content that you post, your opinions that you post, or you run any polls, those get tagged to these categories automatically. And for each opinion that you post, somebody else can come and debate with you on that particular opinion. So it's a fabulous discussion and debating platform. So guys, do download it, install it, and see you all on Loudest. So I think I'll no further questions. So I will close this now, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for joining. What we'll do is, so how can people reach out to participate in your offline talks? Write us on. I'm just sending the email ID, and you can write to us, or you can ping us on any of our social media channels. That's our email ID, guys. And you can write to us, or you can ping us on Facebook or Instagram or even Twitter. And our handle is the same that you have on Instagram, which is @BeLoudest. Yeah. So thank you so much, guys. What we'll do is we'll circulate. We'll have a video of this, which will be live for everybody to watch, and hope you all enjoyed this, and look forward to having you guys in the next debate. Thank you so much. I'm ending this call now. Thank you. Bye.